YouTube family. Thank you for all your love and support that you showed to me when I was in Jamaica. I'm back in the US now, and so much has happened. But this video is a little different because it's me saying thank you to persons I should have said thank you to a long time ago, or I haven't said it enough. And being back in Jamaica, just getting some time to reflect. There are things that I took for granted and that other persons are taking for granted right now. So this is just me saying thank you. But the first thing I want to say is my condolences to those persons who lost loved ones or who are traumatized for what happened in Florida with the collapse of the building. And my prayers go out to you and your loved ones. And I also want to hasten to say as well that the comment was made that collapse of buildings just like that only happen in third world countries. It was offensive and distasteful. So let me correct the ignorance of those statements. Buildings don't collapse out of thin air like that in third world countries. It does not happen. Let me speak for Caribbean islands and Jamaica in particular. The islands have several beachfront resorts, some of which are over 40 years old, and they don't collapse. We're plagued by hurricanes and other things, and buildings just don't collapse out of thin air in third world countries. So let me correct the ignorance of those statements. Let us focus on giving our condolences and support to these people without degrading other countries, because that statement or those statements are ignorant and not true. Moving further into this video, which is not my usual, I just want to say thank you to all the nurses I've worked with at Kingston Public Hospital that laid the foundation for my nursing profession. At Kingston Public Hospital, you know, we took so many things for granted and we complained. I remember working in units where it was just me with 20 odd patients, 30 odd patients, and this is the reality. I don't know if it's happening now, and I used to complain, and sometimes you'd get a third year student or you'd get a ward assistant. But those experiences have made me stronger and have made me into a more resilient person. But there are so many things we took for granted at Kingston Public Hospital. I don't know if it's happening right now, so I'm speaking from past experiences. When I worked at Kingston Public Hospital, you had the hospital itself, you had the units being cleaned no less than 3 times a day. No less than 3 times a day. You don't walk into dirty wards or units at Kingston Public Hospital. The hospital is always clean. When I say cleaning the units, I mean nurses' station, the general ward or unit itself, including inside the patient's room. It's cleaned no less than 3 times a day. The hospital is always clean. You don't walk on the floor is sticky, and you don't see black spots on the floor. Unheard of at Kingston Public Hospital. Despite what anybody says, that was never my experience. The hospital was always clean. If there's a spill on the floor, you call the janitor and it's cleaned. Even if some of the janitors complain, it's cleaned because it's their job. They empty the garbage, and it was remarkable. But we took the janitors for granted. And so the first group of persons I want to big up are janitors, and big up to those who worked at Kingston Public Hospital, those who I worked with. Even the laziest janitor worked hard by US standards because they know their job and they had to do it. So the first set of persons I want to big up are janitors. Second, ward assistants. Oh my goodness. When you're on a ward with 40 odd patients on the night shift, those ward assistants, and we would help as well because it's part of our job description. You give out water for those who can bathe themselves to bathe themselves, and as a teamwork, nurses and the ward assistant work together as a team to make sure that everybody, all 40 odd, 30 odd, 20 odd, all 100% of the patients are clean by handover to morning staff. So the ward assistants work hard. I could not have had a clean unit, 100% of the patients clean, without the help of the ward assistants. I could not do it. And even in the ICU, when I worked in the ICU in Jamaica, you had the ward assistant who, I think it was 4 a.m. in the morning, we started our bed bath and we worked as a team, and all our patients were clean before shift change. We never handed over our dirty patients. So ward assistants, big up to you. Porters, I want to big up the porters, because when you needed help to turn patients, if you're not doing it with the ward assistant, the porters are there to help you. I remember working in the ICU, religiously the porters would come at 4 o'clock, or you call them when you want, and they would help you to turn your patients when you're giving the bath by yourself if the ward assistant was busy bathing other patients. So porters, big up yourself. You needed dockets or files or whatever to be transported between departments, you call the porters and they're there. So I want to big up the porters too. The management at the ICU at Kingston Public Hospital, I don't think I appreciated the sister or, you know, those in charge of the ICU back then. I mean, I appreciated the ICU management, but I don't think I said thank you. I don't ever remember saying thank you, and some saying thank you. No, because there's so many procedures that were in place that we took for granted, and it allowed for the smooth management. I remember once I was being orientated for the pain clinic. While I appreciated it, I never appreciated it enough. Because I was saying, why do I need to be orientated to the pain clinic? I wasn't one of the senior nurses, but I should have looked at that as an opportunity to grow, and so I appreciate that. And the pain clinic was linked to the ICU. I remember every single Thursday, the wall of the ICU was swabbed every Thursday to see if and this was done for all the patients' units in the ICU, the cubicles, and it was swabbed every Thursday to see if there's anything growing. And if there's anything growing, you send it off. And then special soap or whatever you call it was used to clean the walls. And there's so many things that were in place. And so I appreciate the managers or my manager in the ICU at Kingston Public Hospital. Then the doctors, all the chiefs who I've worked with, the residents, the consultants, because whenever you came on the ward round, as nurses, we were appreciated. What we said was of value, because when you came on the rounds, you would ask us, what do you think? You would ask us to tell you about our patients, and so we had to know about our patients, and when we had input, our input was valued. We had autonomy because we were trusted and we were seen as a team, and so we had more leverage, or input counted, and you valued us. Mark Hughes, not 100% of people were like this, you know, but we were valued and we were a part of the unit rounds, and it was also a teaching unit rounds. And so we learned, because you were not only teaching your medical students or your interns, you're also teaching us as nurses, and then we could contribute to the ward round. And so doctors, I appreciate you as well. And for the matron of the hospital, Kingston Public Hospital, past matrons who I worked as a nurse there, and you were the matron of the hospital, I appreciate you, because despite limited resources, or infection rates were low, bed sores were low, turnover rates are low compared to what you know, benchmark is out there, it was low, and we had limited resources to work with, but yet still our care was on par with first world country. And so I have not said thank you enough, and now this is my opportunity to say thank you. So janitors, ward assistant, porters, doctors, my nursing colleagues who I've worked with in all the departments in the ICU, I appreciate you, I have learned from you, and just thank you so much. I have worked with some really good nurses here in the US, and I'm still working with some very good nurses here. And if I haven't said thank you, I won't call names, but I hope you know that I appreciate you. And it's every day you learn, every day you grow. And when you meet people, tell them thank you as you go along. So this is just me saying thank you for everybody who I've come in contact with, those with good personality traits, bad personality traits, because with the bad ones, it shows me who I do not want to be. With the good ones, it just shows me personality traits I would like to adapt. At the school where I work with, my manager is like one of the best managers I've ever had. Very supportive, one of the absolute best. And it's just amazing. So to everybody. And then there's the hospital I worked at in Abu Dhabi. 6 wonderful years. My unit manager for the ICU, thank you so much. You have been the best unit manager I've ever worked with. You have molded me. You're always looking out for me. You're very supportive. I have grown in Abu Dhabi. And if it was not for you, some of the things I accomplished while working there in Abu Dhabi would not have been possible had it not been for you. Also, I've made friends, priceless relationships. One of my friends reached out to me yesterday from Abu Dhabi, and he's married with a daughter right now, and big up and congrats, and thanks for reaching out to me yesterday. I'm still going to download that app, haven't forgotten. And then the best team I've ever worked with was in Abu Dhabi. The best team I've ever worked with. 4 beautiful, brilliant ladies. And I love you, and I appreciate you, and I miss you so much. You were the best team. It's words can't even explain. Hospital in Abu Dhabi I worked at, being dirty was not an option. It was always clean. Dirty, unheard of, unheard of. It was spanking clean. Everything was just top of the line, had to be perfect. It was fast moving, policies were changing, things were changing, and you just had to keep up. And so you had to grow, you had to keep growing. You never go to that place and you are at the same level. Never. Even if you don't want to move, you're forced to move because things were just rapidly changing. And so you had to learn, and you had to grow, and you had to move, and you had to improve. And it was just impeccable. And that has helped towards my growth. And so I thank you to everybody who I've come in contact with in Abu Dhabi during my professional journey. All the friendships I've made when I was there. I appreciate you, and God bless you for being there, for teaching me, for helping me to grow, and for showing me things that I never knew, and taking me places I've never been to, and driving me when I didn't want to drive, because we all know that there are crazy drivers there. So thank you so much. And let me hasten to say this before I get excommunicated. All my personal friends. I don't have a lot of friends because to me, it's not the quantity of friends that you have, but the quality of friends that you have. And so the number of really good bona fide brethren that I have, I can count on one hand. And if I'm in trouble today, I'll have those friends reach out to me, or maybe even come and look for me by tomorrow. And so to all my friends, my bona fide ribcage, heartbeat friends, you know yourselves, I cherish you, I appreciate you, I love you word without end, and I thank you so much for your support, your advice, telling me to hold my tongue when I need to, teaching me how to be tactful when I thought I had tact. So I love you, all my real friends, Bonafide Virgin out there. I love you. Thanks for being there. And again, one love and God bless.